Hello and welcome to the playoffs, where the grand integrator will be decided. All right. So before I introduce the rules to the playoffs, first of all, acknowledgement to people who made this integration be possible. First of all, we'd like to thank the math department for sponsoring this event. This includes money for the prizes and also for the for covering the cost for setting up the live stream and the recording of this event. This is especially great for given this day and age. We also like to thank the volunteers to this beat for writing the integrals and for help proctoring the qualifiers and also checking the answers. So have Yanshen, Paige, Ryota, Dylan. Ryota, Dylan are here as judges. As you have seen, they have done terrific work checking all sorts of crazy answers. Yeah, so this event would have not been possible without them. We also like to thank the MIT Video Production for streaming and recording this event. So if you're watching this online, this will not have been, you will not have been seeing this without them, their support. We would also like to thank ISNT for their AV support. As I said, we would also like to thank the MIT Marching Band for their live performance. And of course, this event would not have been possible without our awesome contestants and audiences. So thank you all so much for being here. All right, on to the playoffs. So how does playoff work? So first of all, based on the regular season ranks, the eight people who advances to the playoffs are arranged into a single elimination bracket. And then for each matchup, we'll have a fixed number of integrals with a given time limit per integral. So as you can see, both numbers increases as you go from quarterfinals to semifinals to finals. And of course, the difficulty of the integrals will also increase from round to round. So during this stage, speed does not matter. As long as you solve an integral in time, you get 1 point. And at the end of the given number of integrals, whoever solves more integral wins. If there's a tie, we're going to sudden death or tiebreaker. We'll cover the rules of sudden death when this arises. All right. So that is pretty much it. So here is the bracket. So here's the bracket to the playoffs. As you can see, they are seeded by the ranks. So for the first quarterfinal matchup, we have Gurki Ra versus Shiqiao. So can you two please be up on the board, please? Yeah, you can pick between 1 and 2, and you can pick between 3 and 4. Oh, yeah. Also, just by the way, you have 2 boards to use, so I don't mean you have to use 2 boards. I mean, the top board is cleaner. You might want to use that. And also, the time limit for this round is 3 minutes, and you have 3 integrals. All right. Okay, so we move on to, let me full screen this first. All right, so we'll move on to the first integral of quarterfinal number 1. Both players ready? 3, 2, 1, integrate. 1 minute. Twenty seconds. Five. Time is up. The answer is okay. This looks good. This should be checked. There's a minus. Okay. Check the second half. Check the second half. Yeah. Check this. Wait. Is it? Check the. Yeah. Okay. This one's good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think both players more or less got the idea. You want to either write the denominator as 16 plus 9 times sine square x, or 25 minus 9 cosine square x, and both of them, and yeah, so running it both ways will break the integral into two easy parts. Okay, both pairs are correct. So the score is currently 1-1. We move on to integral number 2. Face down. Both pairs ready? Okay, just like a comment. When I start, I prefer that you look at the paper instead of the screen, in case I accidentally show the answer or something. So yeah, just look at the paper instead of screen at the start. All right. 3, 2, 1. Integrate. 1 minute. $20. 5. Time is up. Which one do you want? I assume you want the new one. Uh, that is a zeta function. Huh? Well, first of all, let me review the answer first. So, 7. Um, okay. Yeah, because we have never made a ruling on this, we will accept. We'll allow zeta for now, but don't do it next time. Yeah, yeah. It turns out like the setup. Yeah, I didn't rule it out before, so it's not fair to disallow it. Otherwise, it should. Yeah. Okay. 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 So Kurkira is correct. All right. So Kurkira released a series at 2-1. We now move to the last integral of this quarterfinals. Assuming no ties. All right, problem 3. 3, 2, 1, integrate. 1 minute. Twenty seconds. Five. Time is up. The answer is 46 over 50 minus 2 log 2. I believe both players are correct. Yeah, at least they're the same, so it doesn't. So it doesn't change the result, which means that Gorky advances to the semifinals with a score of 3-2. Please erase your board. Thank you. All right, so that is the first quarterfinals. Next up, we have Karthik versus Lurchen. All right, get ready. 3, 2, 1, integrate. One minute. Twenty seconds. 5. Box your answers. Time's up. Is that a 0 or 6? It is a 6. Okay. The answer is pi over 3, which I believe this is correct. Okay, so Karthik is correct and leads the series 1-0. Okay, we move on to the second problem of the second quarterfinals. All right. Both players ready? 3, 2, 1. Integrate. One minute. Twenty seconds. Five. Box your answers. Time. Okay. All right. The answer is log square 2 over 2 minus pi square over 12. So Karthik is correct. And wins the quarterfinal because the score is now 2-0 and there's no way for Lurshan to catch up. That also means that we get to save problem 3 for next year. So let me skip through it in case we accidentally show it on the screen. All right, so quarterfinal number 3, can I have Jacopo and Krishna up on the board? Best of luck. This is quarterfinal 3, problem 1. 3, 2, 1, integrate. One minute. Twenty seconds. Five. Box your answers. Time is up. The answer is this. You do not have an answer. This is no. Yeah, I don't think this is correct. Okay. So neither player got it correct. The score stays at 0-0. Okay, we move on to the second problem. Okay, get ready. 3, 2, 1, integrate. 1 minute. Twenty seconds. Five. Box your answers. Time. The answer is 1 minus pi squared over 6. Yeah, so it seems like both players realize that the numerator switches sign at every perfect square. So it breaks down to a sum of alternating integrals. Unfortunately, it seems like the somewhere went wrong in the computation. So the score remains 0-0 as we go into the third problem. All right, this is the third problem of quarterfinal 3. 3, 2, 1, integrate. One minute. Twenty seconds. Five. Box your answers. Time is up. The answer is pi over 3 minus 3 log 2. We'll check for equivalence. Yeah. So the thing inside arctan is really looks like the triple angular formula for tangent. However, the integrand is not equal to 3 arctan of x because the range of arctan of x is between negative power over 2 and power over 2. When x is equal to root 3 over 3, the value flips from power over 2 to negative power over 2. So you need to account for that. Is this correct? Okay. Yeah, so it does. So this problem does pack a pretty nasty punch. Unfortunately, both players didn't get it correct. So okay. So this means that at the end of 3 integrals, the score is tied at 0-0. This means that we go into tiebreakers. So let me explain how the tiebreaker works. I prepared slides for it. Yep. Okay. Sudden death. Ignore this. So during sudden death, we keep solving integrals. There are 2 ways that the sudden death can end. First way is if one person solves the integral and the other person fails, then the sudden death ends right here then, and the person who solves advances. Otherwise, if both people solve the same integral, then whoever solves it faster gets like 1 advantage, or the person who solves it slower gets 1 strike. And if you get 2 strikes, you're also out. So this also means that the solving speed is not important. So remember that you have to submit your answer using a circle or box, and I'll keep track of when you do that. If you change or cross or erase your answer, then your solve time becomes the next time you submit an answer. So be careful of that. The time limit will be equal to the time limit we have right now. So for quarterfinals, it's 3 minutes. And if after 3 integrals, after 3 more integrals, the tie is still not broken, then we'll proceed to 1 minute long lightning rounds. Yeah. All right. So here's one more mechanic that we introduced last year. It's called the bell. So as you can see, I prepared 2 bells, 1 for each player. Please put it next, wherever you can hit. Whenever you can hit comfortably. So during sudden death, either player may ring the bell when there's more than 1 minute left. Ringing the bell will reduce the timer to 1 minute. This does not affect when you lock in your answer. So reduce it. So basically, after hitting the bell, both players will have 1 more minute to try to solve the integral. So like one typical use case is that if you think you can solve the integral, you can hit the bell to bring more pressure to the other opponent and hope that they didn't solve in time. However, there is a risk to ringing the bell. If ringing the bell causes both players to fail the integral, then whoever hits the bell gets 1 strike. So you're not out immediately, but it is a risk that is quite non-trivial. All right, does that make sense to both players? All right, so let's move on to the tiebreakers. Let me pull up the slides. Okay, so we have quarterfinal tiebreakers. All right. Okay, so once again, speed is important now. Let me pull up the timer. All right. 3, 2, 1, integrate. 1 minute. Twenty seconds. Five. Box your answers. Time. The answer is 9 root pi, which I believe Jacopo is correct. Which means that Jacopo advances to the semifinals with a score of 1-0. As you can see, this is the problem that we left over from last year, in case it's not clear from the... All right, so that is quarterfinal number 3. Oops. Okay, for quarterfinal number 4, we have Tristan versus Devesh. All right, are both players ready? 3, 2, 1, integrate. One minute. 20 seconds. Five, box your answers. Time. I mean, technically you box two things, but they're the same. It's just, yeah, it's fine. All right. The answer is pi. Well, both pairs are correct. All right, so the score is 1-1. We move on to the second integral. All right. Both pairs ready? 3, 2, 1. Integrate. One minute. Ten seconds. Five, box your answers. Time. All right. The answer is this. We will check for equivalence. Yeah, so this one is more or less like a somewhat classic exercise in contour integration. Yeah, you might have noticed I tried to put four fours in the integral just to be a little bit cute. This is quarterfinal number 4, after all.
Wait, what? Oh, no, that's what is this? Oh God.
Yeah, please hang tight. Sorry.
Please hang tight. Oh God, great.
No, unfortunately, this is not correct. Yeah, still looks very close, but you know. Yeah, I don't think this is correct. Sorry. Okay, so this means that the score is currently still tied at 1-1. As we move to the last problem, the quarterfinal. All right, are both players ready? 3, 2, 1, integrate. 1 minute. Twenty seconds. Five. Time is up. The answer is this. We will check for equivalence.
Did you check this one?
Oh, okay, what is cosh arc? Cosine of arc cosh x?
Can you just check?
Oh, okay.
Huh? This is correct. I don't think this. Yeah. No way. This was the half. I don't think this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's any that is correct. Yeah.
Okay. So Tristan is correct. Which means that Tristan advances to the semifinals with a score of 2-1. All right. Yeah. So that is the end of quarterfinals. We'll take a 5-minute break and we'll continue with the semifinals.